HTV Today, Houston Television's showcase of city government. Let's go!
Woo! All right. Hey, another HTV Today. The show all about city employees, people, what they do, what kind of jobs they have in the city of Houston, this big, giant, massive enterprise. Terry, what's up?
Hey, what's going on?
Everybody know Terry.
Happy to be here.
Where's the sound effects of the clapping, Terry? Where's all the yay? Woo. All right. Well, look, we got a special guest today. Our person that we're talking to today is HTV producer, longtime correspondent, journalist, just everything media, Miss Mariana Oyanguren. Did I say that right? Did I say it fast? You have to Spanish. You have to go fast. You have to you do it the right way.
Oyanguren.
Okay, Oyanguren.
Perfect.
Okay.
I'm glad to be here.
All right, yeah. Bienvenidos o bienvenidas.
Estoy muy agradecida de estar aquí.
Okay.
Bienvenidos.
All right. Diálogos, I'm learning. So, we want to talk to you today. You work for the city of Houston. You're in HTV, but you've got pretty exciting career and everything. So now, let's go all the way back. Where are you from? What was childhood like?
I'm from Mexico City, born and raised. Moved to Guadalajara when I was 8. And then my dad got transferred here in 79 to Houston. I was always interested in being in front of the camera. When the video cameras came out, when they were finally made, I was always with a microphone and the camera. And that was pretty funny because my mom saved those tapes. And I can see myself at 6, 7, goofing around.
Right.
Playing with that and interviewing people. It's crazy. Once I graduated high school, I went to Texas A&M on a golf scholarship. And then from there...
Well, hold on. You talked about golf. Wait. Golf.
I was a scratch golfer.
So now, how many mulligans do you take when you start?
Probably one off the first tee. But when you play professionally, you don't get a mulligan.
You don't get right.
And you play from the white tees. It's about 7,200 yards long.
Right. Okay. So A&M, golf scholarship?
Yes. From there, I was 2.5 years and decided that I wanted to learn more about broadcasting. So University of North Texas had a wonderful school of broadcasting called Radio TV Film. So I transferred over there and immediately got my feet wet. My first class was broadcasting the play-by-play of basketball.
Okay.
So that was terrifying but fun.
Right. Got you. Now, what was the issue with you going to UNT versus Sam Houston State University, my school? I have a problem. I'm not understanding what I'm hearing right now.
It was farther away from my parents, right? Whatever every kid
says.
You
gotta be yeah. So now you're going through, a kid, you love being in front of the camera, holding the mic and everything, but people don't know that you have a twin. Should we assume that your twin does the same thing?
No, she did not start off doing the same thing. She worked for a company, and when she decided to do the transition into television, she didn't have a background like I did. She asked my photographer when I was out of town if he could help her, and he did. And then she got hired because I went straight up to the network. I got hired at the network level in Telemundo. And then that's when I became a correspondent. And to not lose the face, basically, locally, they hired her.
Right.
And it was when I was in town, which was very rare, I helped her write her scripts in Spanish.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't make me look bad. It was the concept.
Right.
But,
so you guys were tag teaming.
Yeah, everybody was helping.
That's cool. So graduated from UNT, and so first job in TV.
I worked at I had had an internship at Univision, and it was very good. And I got hired there, and the first thing I'm doing is shooting and editing for sports. And I become the backup anchor for the sports director. And network comes down to cover a boxing match in Waco, and it turns out that I'm better than the sports director, and they kind of send me over to wine and dine and watch the match, and they offer me the job, but you have to do this, and but you have to do this is not in my moral or ethical background. So I said no.
Yeah, you said no.
I'm not going to do that.
Oh yeah.
It happens.
Right.
And I said I'll get to the network some way or another, and I did.
So you did sports like I did, although I was a photographer. I didn't do any talent. But now, did you do color and play-by-play, or were you more color, or were you more play-by-play?
Play-by-play.
Okay. Oh, wow. Cool.
But once I was doing sports locally in Dallas for Univision, I covered everything. Soccer games, the Cowboys, and I have a passion for the Cowboys. And I have a funny story about that. I was remembering the news director telling me, do not break the camera. So it was one of those 3/4 deck, with a belt and the big
pack.
Yeah. And at one point, Troy Aikman starts running off the sideline towards me. And to not kill me, he picks me up and takes me all the way to the wall. And
I know that's
from then on, I think I was completely in love with Troy Aikman.
So where's that video? I know you had a video because it was all on the TV.
I didn't crash the camera, and it was all good. I don't know if I was even recording
the network
at that
copy.
point.
I know the network has.
I'm sure there's a copy somewhere.
Oh, that's wild. That's cool.
Yeah. So then they transferred me to the news department because they lost a reporter, and it was news from then on.
Well, at least you didn't do what I did. I hit Akeem Olajuwon in the chin with a boom mic.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. It was funny. He got up and he pointed at me. It was lawsuit.
Oh, my goodness.
And, all other stations turned on. Oh, yeah. He's with, that station. Yeah, so that's cool. So now, after that's the first job. Mm-hmm. But I know I've talked to you, and then you've talked a lot about how you've traveled the world as a correspondent. So when did you get to the point where you started traveling the world?
The basic, actually, is when Selena died. Mm-hmm. I was covering her locally and traveled to Corpus Christi and was there for a couple of days. And the network was picking up all my stories. And at one point, they decided to offer me the job, and I took it. And from then on, it just took off. I traveled as a correspondent all over the world covering death and devastation. I was even a war correspondent living on aircraft carriers in the Sea of Japan and the Persian Gulf. And, I mean, you talk about scary.
Right.
Some of the stuff we did, I shouldn't even be alive. I've had knives and guns and rifles pulled on me. But, interesting life, but you suffer a little PTSD afterwards.
Right. Yeah, I was wondering how, because, I guess one, there are two questions out of that, one about hazard pay, which a lot of people are really interested in, especially younger people when they hear about, that stuff. And the other is just sort of how did you deal with, I don't know, how were you able to get on camera and do your job and you got, knives and bombs, explosions in the background and all that stuff?
Well, it's mostly the crime, You're there to cover, like, for example, Columbine. Mm-hmm. And you've got 10,000 kids around you wailing for the loss of I don't know how many bodies that are still laying inside the school. And I was doing a live shot, and right in the middle of my live shot, I just broke down. I just started crying. It's human nature.
Right.
So
it's tough.
Yeah, it's tough. You've got to have a stomach for it, but eventually it gets to you.
So, and if you had a stomach for it, not to get into private financial business and everything, but hazard pay is something a lot of people don't know about. Especially for TV network. I mean, what is that like? I mean,
Well, I was eventually known as the #1 reporter to go to. Send Mariana. She knows what she's doing. She can write a script in a plane, land, and do cover a little video, and go live immediately after 5 tornadoes touch down in Oklahoma.
Right.
Think ahead. We have 15 minutes, and you're sending your track and your video, and sometimes they're putting a package together, or you're just straight live.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know that pay is people love that. Yeah, you love that extra hazard pay.
I'll tell you what, I got paid well.
I know, it's great. So how did you get to HTV?
I got to HTV after working at a station here in Houston in Spanish, and they did away with the news department.
Oh, wow.
And I knew Adrian Garcia, who doesn't know him, right? And I gave him my resume, and he gave it to Dwight, and that was pretty much...
That was it.
Yeah. So I've been here almost 12 years now.
And so, most of your life has been media. So from beginning to end, within the field, what is your exact passion?
Well, most of my life I've been on the air.
Okay.
So that's my passion. It doesn't mean that I don't know how to do anything else, because I do know how to shoot and edit.
Right.
But with the times changing in technology, I have trouble learning a little bit because it's not my forte. My forte is reporting out on the field and anchoring. Okay.
And I got a couple more questions before we let you go ahead, get to work and everything. You know how the mayor said, get to work. But
okay,
so,
you want me to be your ringer?
Yeah,
golf?
be the ringer.
Is that what it is?
Oh man, I know I need some more classes. I do the over and under. The interlock method technique when I swing.
I have to look at your swing.
Yeah, you gotta look at it. And you don't do the baseball, do you?
No. Yeah. I do correct golf.
The correct, right? I'm right
I was
here.
a natural, and still am.
So in terms of family life and everything, a lot of people don't know that your family as well, spouse is a media person as well.
That's
so you have the
correct.
whole family. Everything's media.
Yes, his name is Stuart Stanley, and we were both single when we met. He was working at the time at Channel 13, and we went to a crime scene where there was a dead woman, and I was with my photographer, and he kept looking at me and flirting. And about the third hour into this, can't find the woman, I finally asked him out.
Right.
And I said, why don't you go with me to the firehouse? There's a Channel 2 party.
Right.
And I'll meet you there at 7 o'clock. And that was the end of that.
And that was dangerous. You worked for Channel 13. When I was there, you better not show up at some other stations.
Well, the media is a big family. So we got married after about 2 years of courting, and we have a beautiful son who is in college right now at Texas Tech, and he turns 19 in December. And he's very smart. So we're very happy, and he is not going into the media business. No, he wants to make a lot more money and go into finance.
Yeah, but hey, you never know. I mean, he has that influence, right? Because I'm assuming your husband maybe a little editing or whatever, does the voice work and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He grew up seeing all that stuff.
Well, Christian did the cameras on the sidelines football games.
Right.
So.
Well, I tell you what, Mariana, we close it in, man. We can sit here and talk for another hour. I know you have some great adventures, so I'd like to thank you for being our guest on HTV today. Hey, everybody. Mariana Oyanguren.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. Hey, our next podcast take place next Tuesday, 9 a.m. Special guest will be our very own Chief Engineer, Al Byers. So don't miss it. All right, y'all. Terry.
All right.
You got to do a little hee-haw, holler or something. How do we leave out of this dang show?
So good to be here with
All right.
you
Woo-hoo.
today. Woo!